funds. From all I can tell, and from the tracking this committee has done, which is fairly extraordinary, I mean, very detailed, I believe you've done a great job in getting the so-called American Recovery and Reinvestment Act funds out there on the street and underbid and underway. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, you know, we've got about the highest percentage of commitment, and we're looking at pretty much seeing the program begin to ramp down next spring. Does that coincide with what you've done? And
well, Mr. Chairman, first of all, thank you for saying that. We agree with you. I mean, we work hard every day to get this money spent the way that you all asked us to spend it. More than 60% of the highway money is obligated and out the door. Almost all of the transit money is out the door. All of the airport money is out the door, and it came in under bid, so you all provided us $1 billion. We spent $1.1 billion because the bids came in lower, so we're actually able to do more on airports. And Peter and his team have done a great job on the transit. We've done a good job on highways. I've traveled to more than 30 states and more than 70 cities, and I can tell you there are a lot of people that have worked this year on repaving roads, on building roads, on bridges, and this program has worked. And I think when you hear the President's words today at the Brookings Institution about the path forward, it will reflect the success of what you all passed and what we've been able to do. And so we're proud of what we've done, and we think we've done it by the book according to what you all asked us to do.
Well, again, thank you, Secretary and Administrator Rogoff. It's been my experience and the experience of the full committee chairman too that you've delivered well and followed the rules, and you know I think we're making a good investment. I hope to hear that from the President today, but his statement last week merits some correction or concern. He said the term shovel-ready, let's be honest, it doesn't always live up to the billing. And he went on from there to say that infrastructure just takes too long and it wasn't getting out there. So apparently, you know, he's just getting the same memo that was provided to him last February from some members of his economic team, and they're ignoring the reality of what's actually happened between February and today in terms of spending those funds. And I'm hoping that we can get a different memo to him and hopefully get one for today's event. So.
Yeah, can I just also say that early next year we'll be making announcements on the $1.5 billion. None of that money has been spent, the so-called Tiger grants. And we'll also.
And what was the value of the people?
Well oversubscribed.
I think it was like $50 billion.
About $50 to $60 billion.
Or $1.5 billion worth.
That's correct.
Right. So that does indicate there's a little need out there.
And I can tell you, we've received some very innovative, creative intermodal proposals. We will also be making announcements early next year on our high-speed passenger rail, which was $8 billion. So those two pots of money, none of that has been spent, but we'll be making, and again, very creative ideas coming in on high-speed passenger rail from all over the country.
But going from no federal investment to high-speed passenger rail to actually beginning to get money out the door the beginning of the year, I think is kind of like light speed for the federal government. And I appreciate